Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Hi, hello, how are you? How has your week been? I am very excited for today's video because I haven't done one of these in a very long time because I am not the booktuber who does TBR videos because I really don't ever operate with a TBR because my TBR is just like the books that are on my shelf. But I did a summer TBR last year and I just wanted to do it again, and I really wanted to make a TBR because I wanted to use the little wheel spinner. This is not going to be a super involved way of creating a TBR because I literally just pulled up the random wheel of names off of Google and put in all of my books, and I'm just gonna spin it, and those are gonna be the books on my TBR. I already went ahead and put all of my books into the wheel of names, and this is what it looks like. There are 34 books on here. So here are all of the books on this list. A Door in the Dark, The Do-Over, Yours Truly, The Goldfinch, The Way It Used to Be, The Naturals, The 7 Year Slip, The Fever Code, The Vanishing Stare, Magnifique, Once Upon a Broken Heart, Renegades, I War, The Queen of Nothing, The Simple Truth, Kiss the Girls, Red Queen, Cinder, Radio Silence, Funny Story, Pack of the Moon, This Woven Kingdom, Confessions of a Murder Suspect, Isolation Ward, The Liar, Redeeming Love, The Atlas 6, They'll Never Catch Us, The Silent Patient, The Inheritance Games, Article Number 5, Same Time Next Summer, Nora Goes Off Script, and An Ember in the Ashes. We're gonna do 8. I'm gonna read more than 8 books this summer, okay? But this is like a TBR in addition to like my TBR of books that I want to read for videos. So this is like an extra. And honestly, will I really read that many of them off this TBR? Probably not. But I really wanted to make a TBR. So let's pick the TBR, and then I will go gather the books and tell you what it is, the very little that I do know about these books. So here we go. Spinning. That's hilarious. The first book that I got is Funny Story by Emily Henry, which I'm actually supposed to be reading for a book club with some of my friends, but I put it in here just because I thought it would be fun if it was on my TBR. Book number 2, The Simple Truth by David Baldacci. Okay. Book number 3 on my TBR. Why am I getting all these books I kind of don't want to read? The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. Okay. Book number 4. Wait, which one is it gonna pick? The Inheritance Games. That's a good one. Okay. Book number 5. Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. I have a feeling I'm actually really gonna love that book. It's already on my Goodreads list of books I really want to read. So, book number 6, Hotel Magnifique. I don't know who the author is. Emily J. Taylor. Book number 7, Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Okay, last book, book number 8. Make it a good one. Oh, yay! The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. So, for my summer TBR 2024, we've got The Inheritance Games, Redeeming Love, The Simple Truth, Cinder, Funny Story, The Goldfinch, Hotel Magnifique, and The Do-Over. So let me go grab those, and I'll share with you guys what I know about those books. The first book on my TBR is Funny Story by Emily Henry, which is her newest release. It just came out in April. What I know about this book, I don't know their names, but these two people, their significant others broke up with them to be with each other. And I believe they're both in a place where they don't really know anybody else. So they decided to live together because they needed a place to live because their significant others broke up with them. And now they're fake dating to try to make their significant others jealous. This guy's wearing Crocs. Don't know if that's significant to the story or anything. That's what I know. The next book that I have is The Simple Truth by David Baldacci, which is a pocketbook, which is just the worst. I don't know. There's no synopsis on the back of this. Am I gonna enjoy this book? Probably not, let's be honest. At some point when I was in high school, I was convinced that I was like a 1900s mystery reader. Because the amount of David Baldacci and James Patterson books that I have is way too many for the number, compared to the number that I've read. I don't think I've ever actually read a David Baldacci book, but I have like 5 books of his. Because I bought them all from a secondhand bookstore that we had where I used to live. And so they were all like pretty cheap. Like, James Patterson's like super big series, the Alex Cross series, I think I have like 10 of those books. There's like 20 of them or something. I have like at least 10 of them. I've read 1. And I soft DNF'd the second one like a year ago. I have a feeling this won't go well. Because I'm not a 1990s mystery thriller girly. I'm a 2010s, 2020s YA romance fantasy reader. Those two don't really gel very well. So I literally don't know what this book is about. Next we have The Inheritance Games, which has been on my physical TBR for like at least a year, and then my Goodreads TBR for another year before that. So it's been on my TBR for like at least 2 years. And I'm pretty convinced that I would really like this book, but this is one of those books where I've hyped it up so much in my brain that I'm scared to read it and not like it. But the way that this has been sold to me is that it's kind of Knives Out vibes. And I love Knives Out. Like, that is one of those movies that I can literally watch on repeat all day long. I have to say I've probably seen that movie at least 7 times. Like, that was the movie for a while that I would watch every time I was on a plane. And I was on a plane a lot. And so I watched that movie so many times. But this book, I think, is about a girl named Avery. And for some reason, she's written into this guy's will, this random dude that she's never met before. So she has to like travel to his big family mansion, and then she has to interact with all of his family after this guy's just died. And I think there's a love triangle. Yeah, but I think this summer will be the summer I finally read this book. Then we've got The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. Bought this book for a book club that never happened. I literally couldn't tell you a single thing about this book. And the dust jacket's gone, so I can't even read the dust jacket and like pretend I know what's happening. So, but look how big this book is. And it's the size of my head. Do I even want to know? Probably not. At least 750 pages. It's too many. Then we've got Hotel Magnifique, which is a recent addition to my collection. But I bought it, obviously, because it was buy one, get one 50 off at Barnes. And I'm incapable of going into Barnes and not purchasing a book. This one caught my eye because it was sold to me as like kind of Caraval vibes. Because like this hotel like travels around to different locations, which is like similar vibes to Caraval, which I read at the beginning of this year and I absolutely loved. You mentioned a book that I love, I'm gonna be intrigued, I'm gonna be hooked. I think it's about 2 sisters, which also parallels Caraval. They've always been fascinated by this hotel, but they can't afford to stay at the hotel. So they go to work here and obviously find out that there's some secrets that people don't know about in regards to this hotel. So the next book we have is Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers, which I believe is a Christian fiction, which I'm very excited about. But other than like what I've seen at the end of the movie, I don't really know what this book's about. But I believe this is her most famous book, most well-known book. It'd be a great introduction into her repertoire. Then we've got Cinder by Marissa Meyer, which is the first book in the Lunar Chronicle series. And what I've seen about this is that each of the books in the series is like a retelling of a princess story. So obviously Cinder, Cinderella, but they've got a different fantasy element to it. Like, I think the main character in this book is a cyborg. Yes. Which means at least part robot. I hope the prince is cute. I hope there is a prince. Oh, Prince Kai. Hello, Powerless? Then the last book that I've got on my summer TBR is The Do-Over, which look how pretty this is. I just recently bought this book as well. I couldn't leave it because, hello, stenciled edges. It was only $13 at Barnes. I was like, a stenciled edges Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of a book for $13. I simply cannot leave it. So now I have it. I think this is a Groundhog's Day situation where the girl keeps reliving the day over and over again to try to fix something. I believe it takes place on Valentine's Day. This is just this is a theory. This is not the truth. My theory is that she has a boyfriend at the beginning of this book, but then in her Groundhog Day do-overs, she falls in love with somebody else, which would, now that I say that out loud, be really weird for the other person involved. Because she would remember everything, but they wouldn't remember everything. So if, like, by the end of the day she was in love with this person, it'd be a little bit awkward for them because they don't really know her all that well. Anyways, I've only read one Lynn Painter book, Better Than the Movies, so I'm excited to read another one of her books. And look how pretty this copy is. Anyways, that is my summer TBR for 2024. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're feeling up to it. I hope you'll have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.